Okay, hi Nailani and Jenna, back again for the final video on how to look at the Oregon Historical Quarterly, and the Pacific Northwest Quarterly actually is in the same database. Both kind of cool. So this is the third time you'll get it. You know, people need 3 times to learn something. But okay, starting at the college homepage at bluecc.edu, we clicked on library. That gets us to this page, which has our catalog. You would do an advanced search to look a little bit more deeply for books on Faye Dunaway and DVDs. Here in our research guides, this is, again, going to National History Day. This is where we just looked at Oregon-specific resources in the Oregon Historical Quarterly. And, you use that browse feature and to get to both Oregon Encyclopedia and Historic Oregon Newspapers is where we also looked. So now we're actually going to go to databases. And there's just one. This apparently, it works at the high school, but not here. But we're going to go to JStor. JStor, a lot of colleges have access to this, the full version. We don't. We have access to the free version, so a little bit less. But you can make it work. One thing that if you are going to use JStor, you might want to register for an account right away. It's free, but what that allows you to find or do is you can find up to 3 articles that are in their free collection and store them on a JStor shelf for you to read online. And you're limited to 3 at a time. And so not only are you limited to 3 at a time, you have to have, each article has a 14-day shelf life. So if you find 3 cool ones right away and save them all, that means it's 14 days until you can delete any of those to add to your 3 more. So both you're probably going to find more than 3. So you both might want to make an account so you can have up to 6 at a time. So a couple things to do. One, you can just search if you'd like to do that. You can do an advanced search. We can look at that. I probably will take us back to browse because that's what I like to do. I think it's pretty effective. Though, this does work as well. It's just a little bit more complicated. Well, yeah, we can do this. Okay, so they always kind of change it. So again, I just typed in Dunaway. I thought that was fine. And why it's fine is because I didn't hit search just yet. That might be still too much. I like limiting to articles. I don't really care about book reviews and that sort of thing. You can limit to publication date, but since this is history, somebody could have just written an article last year on this issue. So you don't necessarily want to limit to that time period because this is it's history where there's been a historian's take on it. There's the historian lens or look at this. And so that can come, a century later. As opposed to of course, if we were looking at a newspaper article, we want to find what was written often in that day at the moment. So you can scroll down. They cover a lot of different topics, everything from aquatic sciences to, astronomy to education. But we want to, of course, go down to history. And I will also say under history, it's up here actually. They also have 37 journals that just cover feminist and women's studies. You might want to look at both. In fact, it probably wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and do that right now. If you're really curious and want to dig in, you can look in history, and if you wanted to, you could focus on specifically, let's scroll down here. These are all the titles, and actually there was quite a lot, so sorry. But you could scroll down to, I'm trying to get to O. Scroll down to the Oregon Historical Quarterly, so you could do that. And then also the Pacific Northwest Quarterly is quite good. And actually, so this covers more of all the Pacific. So, of course, the Pacific is all throughout the Pacific Rim, so all the way through down to Southeast Asia, and that entire rim, and of course all the islands in between. So that is something you could certainly do if you'd like to narrow your search down like that. So that should do it. We just have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and click search. Okay, somehow I got 0 results back. That is super weird because I know there's research in here. Don't let that disappoint. Oh, maybe it's because I unclicked there. That's weird. To be honest, that's why I often do the browse because I feel like it works better. This is kind of strange sometimes. But if you get something that's too narrow, just expand things out. I'm going to try this, and if it doesn't work, we're going to go back and do the browse thing. Yeah, that was totally weird. I think it's because maybe history unchecked itself somehow, so that could be why. Anywho, so there's a couple things you can do here. One is you can search within the results. So if you want to narrow this down further and add like Harvey or add and suffrage or add Oregon, you can certainly do that. One thing I absolutely suggest you do is, we're going to scroll down here, is do the reading online only, because those are the only ones you're going to have immediate access to. And you may have noticed on the last screen, it was a grayed out read PDF. Now it's kind of this nice friendly blue, read online for free. So journal article. Oh, well, look at this. Abigail versus Harvey. Very good. I think we probably want to look at this one, right? So we can click here. This was published in 1997, so it's about 20 years old. That's not bad. It's history. And so look at the whole art. Preview not available, but that's okay because we know we can read online for free. That's kind of stinky. But let's go ahead and read online for free. And this is where, so you may have already registered for an account, maybe not, but it explains to you how it works. Just as I said, you register for an account, you can add up to 3 items on your shelf, and they have to stick around. So you'll want to either, if you haven't registered yet, go ahead and register, or at this point, you would just go ahead, if you weren't already, to log in. So here's me. I think my password's up to date. So in this case, boom, 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 boom. Probably should have tested this before the video. Oh, okay, good. My password's right. So anyway, what I have now is access to the entire article. I do have to read it online. And just let you know, if you have a snipping tool on your computer, well, there's a great picture. Okay. And yep, you can just go ahead and read this online. So pretty cool. Oh, that's kind of a fun picture. Okay, so anyway, so I hope that makes sense. You know, again, you can search up here again, and I mean, we can just go back to our search if we wanted to, which I think is just as easy, or it's going to make me go through this process. So it might forget that I'm logged in. Oh no, it didn't forget. It remembered. That's nice. You know, sometimes when you go back, it forgets, and you're like, ah. But really, just browse through. You might want to go back and, you know, look and see if there was anything more specific on Harvey in that relationship or suffragist. And, you know, to be honest, you can do that right here. So even if I just type in Harvey right here, just curious. I don't know if that's the best search, but you get, I just want to make sure you get the idea. Well, here's 65 articles. You know, even though it's not very clear, sometimes these primary sources articles can be really useful. And I didn't necessarily want to put this on my shelf, but I do want to show you. So read online for free, add to shelf, because I'm already logged in. And oh, it's currently full. Okay, see, I already have another article there. But this one has been on my shelf for 14 days, so I can take this off. So I can make that go away. And now I can add this to my shelf. But if it hadn't been 14 days, you know, I wouldn't have been able to move that last one. And there it is. My shelf is full. Yeah, trying to make me pay. So read online. And so sometimes these are cool because it can give you some neat images and some ideas. Here's a little bit more information about her. That's not probably super exciting, but oh, it's just telling us where it is. So maybe this primary source one is a little bit disappointing. But except it has this cool picture, so if you wanted to have an image, that's where that might come in really handy, because again, you can snip this and have this kind of neat image right here of when she spoke at this event. So anyway, going back, yeah, I know it's expired. Oh, I may have killed it completely. Oh no, it's my computer's thinking. You can't see that it's thinking, but it really is trying. There we go. And in fact, I could browse your items that way too. So, but I hope you get the idea, you know, and again, you can just come up and change your search if it's not working for you, if you're not thrilled with it. But again, browse through these. There's some good stuff. Some reviews here. Those are book reviews for the book that we did find. This is so interesting. So the Lewis and Clark exposition. Okay. Organ-based voices. Interesting. So you might want to go back, and if you're not finding a bunch on Dunaway, go ahead and type in the women's suffrage movement in Oregon or something like that. Just being flexible with your search terms is probably one of the key things to learn from this. So, okay, so I hope that makes sense. Really between the Oregon Encyclopedia, Historical Society, the Oregon newspapers, and JStor. You should be, and the books, of course, you know, and there's that one video at Weston, don't forget. You should be pretty set. So, but call me, email me if you need anything, okay? All right, guys, happy researching.